do we empower other people? One of the questions that we have is, I have beliefs, I have ideals, I have things that I want to share with people around me, with my children, with my colleagues and friends, my students. How do I inspire them? How do I empower them? So in this week's Torah portion, there's a really great clue that God gives us. The portion right now, just remember last week, we had all the princes that are coming in to give gifts to the Mishkan, to the tabernacle. Well, this week, God deals with the last tribe, the tribe of Aaron, the Kohanim. And God tells Aaron that your job is going to, amongst other things, is going to be lighting the menorah. The menorah wasn't just for Hanukkah. Every single day in the temple, there was a menorah. And every single day, Aaron, as part of his daily routine, lit the menorah. In fact, the menorah is known for the essence of wisdom. The Talmud teaches us, Harotzeh lahachkim yadrim. If you want to be smarter, you want to get wisdom, look to the south. Because the way it was situated was that on the south side was where the menorah rested. The menorah is the essence, if you will, of wisdom. But the words that God used in this portion for lighting is interesting. God says, Baha'aloscha es haneros, when you raise up the candles. Now, the word Baha'aloscha means just from the word la'alos, which means to raise. And the commentators ask a great question. When you talk about lighting candles, there's a word in Hebrew for lighting. It's lahadlik. For those that light candles on Shabbos, you say lahadlik, ner shel Shabbos, or Hanukkah. We have a Hebrew word for lighting. So if God is telling Aaron to do something, he knows Hebrew. Tell Aaron lahadlik et hanerot, the neros. Instead, he says baha'aloscha, to raise. You don't raise candles. They're not kids. They're not chickens. You light candles. God knows this. Why did God change the words the first time that he commanded Aaron to be able to light the candles? So the commentators say something amazing. They say that it was alluding to how he should do it. When you imagine if you're looking at a wick. If the goal is to light it, you put the fire anywhere on that wick. And at some point, the fire will catch and it'll attach to the candle and it will light. But God was teaching Aaron something else. He was saying, don't light it like that. You can't light it from the tip down. I want you to light the candles from the bottom of the wick. And I want you to hold the fire long enough so that the flame raises up through the wick so that you're sure that it can stay on its own. So when you pull your fire back, it doesn't go out. And so Aaron, when he would light the candles, he wouldn't light the top of the wick. He would light the bottom of the wick and he would hold it long enough so that he would see the flame rise and be on its own before he pulled away his fire. Now that's a cool concept, but what does that have to do with me, you, and inspiration? And the answer is that we have a verse that says, Ki ner Hashem nishmas Adam. The candle of God is the soul of man. And remember, the menorah is wisdom. The flame is the soul. Inspiration, empowerment is all about lighting up someone's soul. God is teaching us how to light up someone's soul. When you teach somebody, when you share something, many times in life, we share things top down. I understand it, so I'm giving it to you based on my understanding. And so you either understand it or you grapple with it as it comes down the wick, if you will. My fire is on top of yours, and I relate to you downward, and I hit you, the wick, from the top, the most top point, the way I see it, the way I appreciate it, even in my frustration of why you're not already there. How many kids grow up feeling not enough because somebody on top is already worked out? Okay, they're 30 years older, but they forgot what it was like to be a teenager. Okay, they're in 11th grade, but teacher sometimes forgets what it's like to be in 11th grade with all that's going on in 11th and 10th and 4th and 2nd. Sometimes what's happening is it's coming down from the top, from the way I get it. And you on the bottom have to somehow take what is coming down. God's like, that's not how you do it. I remember a friend of mine was telling me as we were talking about this specific idea, and he was telling me that it reminded him of how he would teach his kids how to ride a bicycle. You hold the back long enough as the kid wobbles back and forth on the bike. And as you're running, holding the back of the bike, you're compensating for the lack of balance that the kid has as he's riding or she's riding her bike, until finally they get that balance and you're holding it, and then you let it go. And they don't even realize, because they're just pedaling, that they're doing it on their own. You know how you empower somebody? Here's how you do it. God is saying, don't go to the top of the wick. Go to the bottom of the wick. Figure out where they're at, what they need to hear, what will connect themselves to the ideas, to the material, to the inspiration, and then come down to their level and teach, speak, inspire, educate, guide from the bottom of the wick, from where they're at. And hold on to it long enough until they get it on their terms, until they're moved on their terms, until where they're at in life is inspiring. And when they, from wherever the person you're speaking to, at the lowest potential level, whatever needs to be broken down until they get it at their level, you hold on to them long enough. And you grow them long enough until they can get it on their own. And that's how you build them up. However long it takes to get the balance, you hold on to that back of that seat. God is teaching us one of the most important lessons in life. You want to light somebody up, you start from the bottom of the wick. You go down to them. And then you light them up together. And then you let go only when they're on fire. You don't light from the top. You light from the bottom. That's how you light up the people around you. And that's how we take the nishmas, the soul of man, and bring in the wisdom represented in the menorah of the Torah. Shabbat shalom.